Hi, I'm Amanda Skelton, an independent stamping up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how to make this little gift box, which is a pyramid. It's really quite cute. What does it measure? It measures about 2.5 inches square on the base and about 2.5 inches high, so it's quite cute. Really good for a treat box. Could be used for a wedding favour. I've done this sort of with the masculine set, so I'm doing this with the Beautiful World stamp set. So it could be quite nice for some chocolates for a man, or some cufflinks you could put in there, something like that. At Christmas you could use something like this and you could hang it from the Christmas tree, and again you could put little chocolates in it on the Christmas tree or somebody's present, earrings, etc. So you open it up like that, and then you can put your goodies in and find your goodies. Then you can just close it back up again with the twine. Okay, so that's what we're going to make today. So what we'll need is a piece of cardstock. Now I've chosen Crumb cake. I've chosen this because it works quite well with a lot of different colours, and because this is for a male gift, I think it's quite a nice colour to use as a base. You could use any colour though. And this measures 4 inches, sorry no it doesn't, it measures 7 7/8 of an inch by 7 7/8 of the inch. And what you want to do is you want to score it on one edge up to 2 5/8 of an inch, and then continue up to 5 1/4 inches and score it again there. Then you want to turn it 90 degrees, and again you want to score in 2 5/8 of an inch, and then continue and score up at 5 1/4 inches. And then what you want to do is on each of the lengths edges you want to measure 4 inches and just put a little pencil mark. Don't know if you can see there, just put a little pencil mark at the 4 inches mark. Okay, so then you should have 9 squares. So what we need to do then is you can do it either way really. You can either use a score tool or your trimmer with your score blade, or you can use good old pencil and ruler. So what you want to do from the centre square, and I apologise, I'm not really sitting above this so I don't block your view, but you want to basically create 4 triangles off of each of these. 1 2 3 4. Okay, but you want them scored. So let me just get my trimmer. So let me see if I can get this on here for you. Move those over a bit. So get your cut blade out of the way, and what you want to do is make sure that if you can do pencil marks first if you want, but then I'm just going to score on each of these lines. Now I've only drawn the lines on one. Sorry, I need to go across there. And then we want to do this on all 4 edges, so I haven't drawn the lines here, but you want to get your line here and your corner here. Sorry again, and I apologise if my hair might look a bit greasy, but had a lovely massage earlier, the first one after lockdown. So again, you want to score it from this score line up to the top. And I'm going to keep the oils in my hair as long as I can. Right, again. Right, you can't, hopefully you can see the score lines there. You can't see the pencil lines because I haven't drawn them. So again, so you want to repeat this on all 4 of the middle squares on the edges. And final one. hopefully you can see now we've pretty much got a star shape going on there. Okay, so that's all we need a trimmer for the now, or the score tool at least. Right, so what you want to do first of all is remove the 4 corners. Okay, don't be tempted to follow the score lines we've just made, because we're going to need a bit more of the paper to make some sort of flaps to be able to adhere the edges together. So you just want to take out the 4 corners. Don't need to be too careful about these because you're not going to see them. Again, keep your offcuts because that'll be useful for something else later. Final corner. There you go. So then you've got your piece like that with your triangles cut there. Right, what you want to do on all except one of them, so if it makes it easier, maybe fold one of them down so you're not tempted. Okay, so on 3 of them you're going to cut probably about well, let me cut it and then what's that, about 1/4 inch, and then just take a snip at the top just so that the when we fold it, it's not going to. And then same the other side, again, doesn't have to be overly pretty. Okay, so if you want to measure it, you can measure it, but I'm just going by eyesight. Again, cut the top off. Okay. Now you want to do the same with this 4th piece, but you want to do wider flap sections on it. So you probably want to do maybe about centimetres, maybe 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so once you've got your piece cut out like this, so you can see the score lines still, this is the one that you want as your extra, your front flap. So with your score marks pointing up, because you're going to be folding away from the valleys, so with the valleys painting up. So I'm going to use the stamps in order to create my own DSP effectively. So that's what I've done here. I've used the stamps, I've put one on the bottom. I've used the stamps here in order to create the pattern. So I'm going to use Old Olive and Crumb Cake. On this one I used Merry Merlot and Crumb Cake on this red one. So I'm going to use one of the World dies, and I'm going to remember that when it opens up, it's going to be this way up. Okay, so what did I say? That's the front one. So I'm going to have, this is on the bottom, but I'm just doing it so that it's sort of facing the right way. Oh, that doesn't look very Old Olive, does it? not cleaned it off properly. Okay, so I am then going to, so like I said, you've got to remember that these are going to be upwards when it's actually, so if you have the square in the middle and then each way this is going to be upwards, so you've got to, if you want to do something that is directional. So I've just used the little compasses. Again, there is a west and an east on there. Is that going to come up better? Why is my old olive not looking very good at all? I think I might change that for garden green then, because that really isn't looking good, is it? I think I've obviously stamped on it with something else. I'll have to clean that one off later. Okay, so let's just clean that one off. That looks better, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to put one of those in the middle of each of the sections. So I'm just going to turn it around. And then I'm going to use the feather from the same set, and I'm going to just put those on randomly elsewhere. Now it's quite nice to sort of do it so over all of the paper, because then it looks like it's, you know, if you've missed an edge, it doesn't look very finished, so it's quite nice to sort of go over the top. So I'm just going to do random designs on it. Okay, so it's quite pretty on its own. Okay, so what we can do then, like I said, this needs to be obviously on the outside, your patterned side. Excuse me. Fold all your sections in, and what we want to do, so remember that one of the sections has got the wider flaps, so on that edge and on that edge you want to create a couple of holes. I've got one of these hole punchers which is a single, like an eyelet, so I'm going to do 2 there. And then I'm going to do 2 on the back section as well. Oops, I haven't done those very even, have I? You won't notice it so much really, I didn't do those very even either. But it won't change how it folds. So then you want to fold in all of the flaps. Right, so remember which is the front section, which has got the slightly bigger folds on it, okay? So we want about 12 inches of ribbon or twine, so I'm using a twine here. What's this one called? It is the jute twine. I don't know that it's currently available actually, but you can use any ribbon. You want as narrow as possible, probably about 1/4 of an inch, or some sort of twine. And then you just want to put it in one through the other, and bring it through so it's about half length. So that's about right, okay? And then what you want to do is, so that's the back, this is the front because it's got the 2 wider flaps. Now on these 2 edges we want to put some double-sided sticky tape, or if you want to use glue you can use glue. I'm just going to get my silicone mat so that glue won't stick on it. So now you might find that these flaps aren't as wide as the glue tape, and if it isn't, put it as close to this edge as you can, and it can overlap this and we can cut it off. So let me, I want it to be that angle actually. So excess off there. Actually, I fibbed. You want it to be as close to that edge as possible, because now this isn't that easy to cut off. So I did that wrong. Let my mistake be your... So I'm just going to cut a bit off of there. Should be okay. Right, so the back. Outside edge there. Outside edge here. And what I want to do is put it on the... line it up with the folded edge so that it doesn't overlap. Not like I said last time. Okay, so now you can see it's quite a bit easier to cut this excess off now. Okay, so what we can do then, just give those a nice press. Protective layer comes off, and you just want to push those edges together. Try and keep your twine or your ribbon out of the way if you can. The protective strip comes off, and again just want to bring your edges back up together. If you can get in there with your fingers, then give it a bit of a press. But just want to sort of push it together. Okay. And then you can just press those sections back. Thread your ribbon or twine through the holes at the front. Tuck your folds in. There you go. There you have your little treat box with a little bow on it. You can trim off if you want the bow to be smaller. If you haven't got one of these hole punchers, what you can use is, if you've got a picker tool, pick your tool. Or sorry, pick your tool. I can't remember which one it is now. You could use the pointy end. That would make a really nice score mark, and actually the shaft of this is quite deep, so you might be able to use that in order to get your ribbon through. Okay. So there you have it, and then you can fill with your treats as you wish. As always, my Stampin' Up website is amandascraftedcards.stampinup.net, and you can find me on Facebook as Amanda's Crafted Cards. Any questions or queries, then do let me know. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye.